Cryptomonoliths. Sorry for lack of videos for today, or for last couple weeks, because I was in surgery. So instead of missing like all the videos, I am gonna do this one. So it's custom card reviews. So let's begin. They're all called heads because the archetype is called heads, but they have decent energy. So, yeah. So we have, let's start with Head Shark. If this card is normal or special summon, you can select one head card from your deck, graveyard, and or battle zone, add it to your hand. And if you do, inflict 3,000 damage to your opponent's life points. If this card's effects gets negated by card effects, you can pay 1,000 life points and negate that card effect instead. If you do, add the that card to the add that card to. Alright, I just woke up. Add that card to your hand. So basically, the one that negates this card's effects, like Ice Blossom, you could just take it to your hand. And if this card is sent to the grave, you can shuffle this card into the deck instead. Special summon one heads monster from anywhere to accept this card to your field in attack mode. But its attack points become double the attack points. Decent things. So, yeah. It brings, or like adds a card to your hand. If it's negated, adds a card from. Okay. So then now, Pumpkin Head. If this card is normal or special summon, okay. Shuffle one card from your graveyard or battle zone or hand into the deck. Inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent's life points. If it does, skip your opponent's battle phase. If this card's effects are negated by card effects, you can discard one card from your hand, negate that card effect instead. If you do, send all cards from your opponent's hand and field into the graveyard. See, sending them, not destroying them, sending them is basically like so that we don't trigger any like destruction effects. And now its graveyard effect is basically shuffle this card into the deck instead, and then you add one head spell / trap card from anywhere to your hand. So, yeah. They all have like once per turns, or like you could only activate this effect for once per turn. So this one, once per turns, during your main phase 1, you can look into your opponent's deck. You can select one monster from it to your to be summoned to your field in attack mode, or in ignoring the summoning conditions. In attack mode, if you do, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to that special summon monster's attack points by this effect. I know its wording is messed up, this effect, because it's supposed to be 2 words instead of 1. If it does, skip your opponent's main phase 1. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck, special summon one head monster from anywhere to your field in attack mode. But this one can't be negated or can't be chained, because most of the cards can't be chained by card effects. Because, like, I chain Ash Blossom to negate that thing. So, yeah. So then this card earns a trap card if this card is activated from your deck. If you have a head, and it's supposed to be a heads monster on the field, you can send this card from or into your graveyard, inflict damage or 500 damage to your opponent's life points for each card from the field. If it does, you take no damage from battle, or you take no damage from the damage until your 4th turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck. You can draw 3 cards from the top of your deck to your hand. So basically, like, I don't have, or this is my first time making this trap card activate from the deck to the graveyard. Now we only have 3 left. So, head, question of your insanity. It's a spell card that has the effect of, if this card is activated, you can select one monster from either player's graveyard, special summon it to your field in attack mode, and it gains this name of heads to it. Then you can make a 3rd battle phase for once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck, add 1 head card to your hand. And so basically, this card is, I'm trying to do like similar to one of the anime cards where Dart's used to bring back one of the, it's similar to Impact Revive, but way more like broken. This card allows you to basically summon a monster, and if it summons from your opponent's like deck, or from like their graveyard, special summon it to your side of the field, it gains that name, the heads effect. Basically, yeah. And you could go into like different plays. And then we got Hans, insane man with dark eyes. He is the boss monster of the archetype, so yeah. If your opponent acts or declares an attack, you can roll this, or you can reveal this card from your hand. Special summon it to your field in attack mode. If you do, then hit that attack and end their turn. If this card attacks a monster before damage calculation, you can roll the dice. Activate one of these effects for once per turn. 1 or 2, banish the selecting card instead of battle. 3 or 4, both monsters get shuffled into the owner's decks. 5 or higher, banish all cards from the field except this card to the banish zone. And then this card attacks 3 times per bet. Yeah. So this card it will be really good if you choose number 1 or number 2, because that time you're basically banishing cards. 3 or 4, you can shuffle. Basically, it would be like the Neo-Space and Grand Moles effect, basically built in. And yeah, it has a graveyard effect of you can shuffle this card into the deck, collect 3,000 damage to your or opponent's life points. So yeah. Head control. It's similar to mind control, but if your opponent activates a card effect, you can discard from anywhere to your graveyard. In that effect, it's supposed to say effect and end their turn. And if you do, shuffle that card into the owner's deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck. Special summon 2 heads monsters from anywhere to your field in attack mode. But oh, that's interruption. Alright. That was interruption. So yeah. And plus, they also, because their attacks are doubled, and they can attack your opponent's life points directly. If you do, draw 2 cards from the top of your deck. Yeah. So, if I had to give this archetype the 10 or 1 out of 10, I will have to give it 7 out of 10. Because it's crazy, but most of the time you don't play like all the cards. But the ones that certain ones that you get your opponent's most strongest powerful monster. And its attack point links to your opponent. Earth damage. Yeah. Because once you activate this card, it's all over for. Yeah. So it's basically you can take one monster, like Dark Magician, summon it to your field, in the attack mode. Or if you were, you could activate this one, and you could create, or you could, and like, what would be a good name for if it was Dark Magician Heads? Dark Magician of Heads. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you could see like a little bit of energy going. Like that, you can summon this or this to basically shuffle like Pot of Greed or something that needs your combo plays to be like keep going, and you also inflict damage to your opponents. It's basically a burn deck, but more focused on like burns. Okay? So basically you can summon this and then add like volcanic like doomfire things to so now yeah. So now we'll okay. And now we'll this is a announcement thing. So the announcement is that I might do little by little no of like what if things like start it back up because yeah, and I want all of you in the comments below to say like get better or soon. Okay? So peace out, y'all. Bye.